Cesspool Scammer the O.C.G, and I'm here playing. Oh, sorry.
May the sun shine upon you. Sweet Melitele, they'll resettle us all south of America. And bring in the Guardians to farm our land.
Viper-eyed Hellraiser.
What the fuck am I to do? What?
What happened here?
Oh, got a wee bit chilly the night, so I set fire to my forge. Got it nice and roaring. Roasted some wieners. What do you think happened, dimwit? Some bugger set alight me workshop. I've lost everything. Everything!
Sorry. Any suspects?
Whole damned village. I've lived here half a century. Thought they saw me as one of their own. But everything changed when the Black ones came. And they only slipped around so I got to surface their garrison. Bang dents out to plate, shoe horses. That's what I think. Milf Guardians don't pay me a bloody copper. Just give me supplies and orders. But humans can't fathom that. They think I'm getting rich off their misfortune. That I sleep on a pile of gold like a ploughing dragon. They've stopped talking to me. Spit when I... And now this.
I can find your arsonist, provided you're willing to pay.
I've not much left, but I'll give you all if you bring me that horse in, so that he gets what he deserves. The night of the fire, I heard movement outside my hut. Went out to see if I could find any tracks. I found nothing. But then I haven't got cat eyes, have I? Good luck.
From a tinderbox. Arsonist must have lit his torch, tossed it on the roof, then fled through the orchard. Boot prints. A man's. Large.
Actually, hold on.
Stinks of piss and vodka.
I think those plums are wreaking havoc on my gut.
Took off his boots and went in the water. Probably wanted to cover the trail. Something jumped out of the rushes. Drowners. But he managed to escape. Lost his boots in the rush. Tracks lead back to the village.
My gran told me about the Smith boy. Lad went missing one day, so folk nabbed a witchman that was hunting nearby. Started poking him, asking. Well, he started twisting and squirming, so wham bam, they knocked his head off. Aye, so it were. Except it was some
Bleeding, but not badly. Surface wound. Trail ends here, but I'll recognize him by his wounds.
After I leave his house.
Drowner claw marks. It's gotta be him. Nasty wound. Run into a drowner.
What the fuck do you care?
Whoa, our arsonist's a charmer too. Come on, Smith wants to talk to you.
I not talk to a non-human. Sons of bitches all, and dwarves are the worst. Greedy little magpies do anything for gold, they will. They forge the blades the black ones put to our throats. Am I not right? Listen, we can work this out man to man. I give you gold, you don't turn me in. My mum died a while back and I sold her tools. I've spent some. What's left is yours.
Magpies and dwarves might be greedy, but I'm not. Can't buy me.
And I'll beat your fucking mug to a pulp!
Calm down. Now follow me.
Looking for trouble? Voidemar, will you raise a glass with me?
It's Durban now.
Up and at him.
What's going on?
Here you go. One village maniac in the flesh.
Nap!
You! I knew your mum for years. Charged her nary a copper. This is how you repay me. I've had enough. Hey, soldier. A minute of your time, please.
No! Willis, I beg you! I was drunk! Didn't know what I was doing!
I've told you, Master Willis. We will help you rebuild once reinforcements come. The supplies have been ordered.
Not what this is about, mate. This here's the arsonist. A witcher found him.
The forge was important to the garrison. Destroying it was sabotage. No trial needed here. Just a tree.
Villagers will really love you now.
Well, no, I don't give a flying fuck about them. You know, I hated the Black Ones at first, like everybody else did. Now I'm thinking they might just bring order to this place. Teach these layabouts some manners. But enough about that. Your reward.
I don't blame him.
Managed to save some things from the fire. Anvil still holds, so I'm sure I can bang something out on it. You need anything, let me know. Give you a good price.
We'll swallow them whole. I'd razor.
What do you say to that?
We'll talk about this later.
Freak.
Gran told me about Smithville. Lad went missing one day, so folks had to decide. Should we draw it or not? Soup out of something. But Tosley said he'd not give his dog this water.
So many corpses rotting in. Sure, Tosley.
Giddy up.
So pretty. How's it going, man?
Slow.
Just enjoying the next version of this. It took them a while to come out with this, man. They put a lot of love and time into this. I guess stands as one of the best remasters out there, honestly. Yeah. It's been many years since I played through the whole thing. Yeah. It's been many years since I played through the whole... Yeah. My schedule's been all over the place. But yeah, they put... I don't know if you've tried the next gen version. But man, it's great. They redid all of the textures from scratch. They redid all the foliage from scratch. And made it denser, richer, have better draw distance. Redid the skybox. Upgraded the lighting. Upgraded the character models. They added a bunch of gameplay tweaks. Really good ones too. Like, it wasn't just a visual thing. Like, this is the camera in the original game, and now you can switch it to an optional, more closer camera. I kind of like better. But you can also set it to be on for walking, and off for fighting, or off for horseback. They also added, now, sprinting no longer costs you stamina. And you can click the left stick to sprint, instead of having to hold the circle button the whole fucking time. And they added a new way to cast signs that's much better. Instead of having to hold the radio menu and aim, you hold the right trigger, and now all the signs are assigned to hotkeys. so you can cast different signs rapidly without having to open the menu every time. I think that's a way better way to do it. They redefined the leveling system. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. It's now a lock 60 virtually everywhere. Well, depending on the mode. You can either do 60 or 30 ray tracing. But regardless of which mode you pick, you get a solid frame rate. Even at 60 FPS on PS5, running through Novigrad on horseback, I think at most you drop like 2 frames in the city center as the game is loading it in. So, you know, and Novigrad was the worst case. You know what I mean? Like, they used Novigrad to test PC CPUs for a while. So, worst case scenario in Novigrad, running through at breakneck speed, you're going to lose 2 or 3 frames. Most people wouldn't even notice that. And just walking around Novigrad, you're fine. So, and that's the worst case. Crookback Bog, the countryside, all run flawlessly. So, it's like 99.9% locked at 60. And like I said, the average person isn't going to notice 2 or 3 frames in the heat of the moment. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it still is the worst performing area, but it's like I said, you're going to notice like 2 or 3 frame drops as you walk past the city center and it's loading it in. It's not like sustained performance killing, you know? Most people wouldn't even notice it. So... they redid the textures. They added a photo mode. A really, really good photo mode. Which is fucking awesome because the original game didn't have any photo mode whatsoever. And now you have one that, like, you have a lot of different settings. You can actually roam around and get a good view. They tweaked the leveling system. So most of the skills have been simplified in a good way. Like the skills that would take 5 points to max out, take 3. Some that took 3, take 1. So you get skills faster. And on top of that, one of the things that I love the most about this game, the next gen version, the modern remaster or whatever, is they actually went to the most popular community mods. Sorry, it was my alarm. They went to the most popular community mods, the ones that didn't break the game, obviously, you know, like a nude mod or whatever, and they actually not only got them incorporated into the game with permission from the mod authors, but they actually paid them. So not only did they actually reach out to the modders, they actually compensated them for their time. I cannot think of a single instance where that has ever happened in another game. And they're even in the credits for the game, the modders. And a few of them got jobs with CD Projekt Red after this was done. They added a much bigger zoom out to the world map. Like, it's just great. You get a phenomenal visual overhaul. And then across the board, you get all kinds of quality of life improvements. Even stuff like when you used to go to loot plants, it would open up a menu and you have to loot it. Now Geralt just sweeps his hand out and loots it. See, I have it set so that when I'm on foot, it has a more zoomed in camera. But when I get on horseback, it zooms out more. I love the fact you can tweak it. You can also have the camera close up in combat or farther out. And I actually really like that because I think for walking around, looking around, the close up behind the shoulder camera fits. But for horseback, you want to be able to see better. So, they even added a bunch of new stuff. They added 3 new sets of armor, like Witcher sets. One of them is based off of Geralt's look from the show. They added a new quest to get that armor. They added a new look for Dandelion that you can turn on. Where is it? Optionally, to make him look more like the show's Dandelion. It's here somewhere. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You have to go in the main menu at the title screen. You know, so you can unlock, like, the black leather outfit that he had in the show. It looks really cool. Kind of like a tie-in. They added a set of elven armor for free as a community benefit. And they also, if you sign up for a CD Projekt Red account on the, cog.com, you can get cross saves and carry your saves from PC to PS5 and back across all systems, even Xbox, even Switch, which is really fucking cool. Obviously, you have to make a third-party account because there's no unified service that connects them, but still being able to take your saves from one console to the next, even in a different manufacturer, is fucking awesome. So...
Come on, Roach.
And, they put a lot of time and effort into this. Like I said, rebuilt the foliage from scratch, redid the textures, redid the character models, they redrew the UI, redid the monsters, redid the skybox, added new weather, pumped up the draw distance, added ray tracing in ray tracing mode, added new quests, new armor sets, new features. They could have charged for this, and they did not. And I really respect the fuck out of that, so... And load times are virtually non-existent. Like, we're talking like 2 to 4 seconds to switch regions, compared to like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So, they really put a lot of love and care into this. And I already love The Witcher 3. I already thought The Witcher 3 was fucking awesome anyway. I was trying to test something. Just Cause 3. Sometimes you can stream it, sometimes you can't. Some people had issues with it. So I wanted to test it and see if it would work and pop up on the stream. And then I was trying to find a way around to streaming BioShock. I wanted to stream some of the BioShock games, but they had streaming blockers, and I thought I had found a potential solution. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And I'll do some exploring before I go back to the main quest. Or side questing, anyway. Yeah, it doesn't. BioShock doesn't, anyway. I think it's due to the copyright. They didn't want to have to renew the licenses because they have a lot of old-timey songs in BioShock, even in Infinite, because they have God Only Knows, the fucking sweet acapella version of God Only Knows, and Tears for Fears. Damn it. I thought I had found a way around it, but no. Which is kind of funny, too. Because, so, what's funny is you can't stream BioShock games. You can record them, though, and upload the footage. Hopefully I can get to a time of day where it's not fucking foggy as shit. Is it this side of the bridge? Yeah, it is. I don't think he did. I don't know the situation. But he mentioned when he beat, Lawrence. Oh, I'm sorry, Ledwick. He mentioned when he beat Ledwick, but he didn't mention the rest. I feel like that would be something he would mention. So who knows? Yeah. Wow, my horse kicked it. Of course, at this point in the game, I'm just starting out, so I'm so fucking weak. I keep trying to convince Alex to do the fucking DLC for Bloodborne. He loves the game. He has the fucking platinum. And he's like, well, I don't normally do DLC, and I'm like, okay. But I'm like, you love Bloodborne. You've played it tons of time. You have the platinum. It just, I don't know, man. But then there's also games I've seen you play and like, and then you didn't get the DLC, so... For me, personally, if I really, really like the base game, then getting the DLC is like a given. If I didn't really care for the base game, or but if I really enjoyed it, I'm getting it. So...
Go.
Fuck it, might as well. I try to clear off bits and pieces of the map at a time. Ah, shit. Oh, there's a place of power. Unfortunately, there's also a goddamn bear.
It's humming. Place of power. It's gotta be.
Can we talk about this? I forgot that the bears in this game are freakishly fucking large. Even by bear standards. These bears could eat our bears. The fortress? Oh, so you mean you're on chapter 4? Or oh shit. Or like when you, I'm trying to think of what you mean when you say the fortress. Because there's the train yard, and the district to the hotel. That's chapter 1. The Elysium Boulevard, and the police station. That's chapter 2. The ironwork, and the path to it in chapter 3. Oh, okay, so. Yeah, oh, that's Alchemist Isle, Arch Abbey. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Please tell me you've done the DLC for these games, right? You've done the DLC for Witcher 3, right? Okay. Because I have met a lot of people.
Should draw from it.
I've met a lot of people who have loved The Witcher 3, who have played the shit out of The Witcher 3, and have never played Blood and Wine. And man, that is a mistake. It just depends on how you view it. But yeah, Hearthstone had a great story, but man, Toussaint is got to be one of the best fucking areas in any game ever. Beauclair, the main city in Toussaint, it's got to be one of the best cities in any game. Like one of the most pretty, vivid, colorful cities. I still remember the first time I played Blood and Wine, just being consistently fucking like, wow. It's so good, dude. Oh, bandits. Oh, I'm shaking in my fucking boots. What's up, bro? Fucking bitch-ass bandits. Imagine going up against somebody who fights supernatural creatures for a living and thinking that you can win, and you're just a standard fucking cutthroat. Like, I understand why bandits attack you, you know what I mean? Of course they've got to. You know, they give you something to chance upon. But it's just like, if you look at it from a lore perspective, honestly, half these bandits would just be like, no, I'm gonna leave that person alone. Like saying people mention Skyrim, it's like, yeah. So you're saying there's a chance? That's what I'm saying. Like in Skyrim, man, it's like I just saw that guy took down a dragon single-handedly and eat its soul. But us 5 bandits, we can take him. Fuck. Yeah, I'm still like super weak. Ah, shit. Oh well, I lost some progress. No biggie. Fucking wolves. It's looking like it. Yeah. The extent to which it will involve 9/11, we don't know. But in the trailer, people were clearly, in the literal, okay, they teased it and they showed the logo. The official company showed the logo. It's Black Ops 6. And you can see 2001 hidden in the logo. Okay, so we don't know the extent to which it's going to be a thing.
That's it, Roach.
But we do know 9/11 is going to at least factor into this game, for sure. And I honestly think they need to be really careful with that. Because they thought that the backlash to no Russian was big. Dude, they mishandled 9/11. Oh my god. Plus, you know, not to mention the fact...
Giddy up.
Call of Duty's main audience is like military bros. Americans who really like guns and military stuff. That's like their target audience. Those are the same types of people that would be really upset about them not handling 9/11 well.
Kill if you love the gods! Get him! Come on! Don't interfere! Oh, you're fucked. Never learn. Give up!
Oh shit. So, plus, you know, like the whole no Russian thing, it may have been inspired by acts of terrorism, but it was still a fake incident. You know what I mean? With them doing 9/11, this is a real terrorist attack that really happened, that most people who were moderately adults can remember. So, I hope for their sake that they handle it really tastefully. Because the backlash is going to be immense if they don't. Like if they just have 9/11 in the game for shock value, it's really not going to go over well. And it will piss off like their target audience. God, I hate these little fuckers. Oh, you leave my horse alone, you little bastard. Oh, where you think you're going, motherfucker? Yeah. I mean, I'm not... Okay. Okay, let me clarify here. I'm not opposed to it being in a game. Or... I'm not opposed to it being in a game. I'm not opposed to... talking about it, because it's a real-life thing that happened. And it... Honestly... You can't understand it as well because you're not from America. It changed America, okay? America has never been the same since 9/11. It was the worst terror attack in the world. Still, even now, over 20 years later, it's still no terror attack has come close. Like, the last terror attacks in, like, the last decade don't amount to 9/11 together. Like, it's kind of insane. There was, like, an attack on a French stadium a few years ago, and they were like, this is the worst tragedy France has ever experienced from terrorists. And it was like 100 people that died. And like, that is terrible. But they're like, it just shows you like over 3,000 people died here just from the initial attacks. God knows how many people were made sick after the fact. So like, it is by far the worst incident of terrorism in the world. Before or after. Even as a kid, I remember seeing it on the news and seeing what a big deal it was and how it changed how America operates and how we handle things. So it did. Yeah, and then in the rest of the world, like it changed so much. Like it rocked America to the fucking core. That was like the center of our economy. Like those trade centers were literally our economy that just got fucking torpedoed. And it made Al-Qaeda public enemy number one. But, okay, so I'm not against them including it or talking about it. But what I am against is Call of Duty has a tendency to sensationalize and exaggerate and play things up for dramatic effect. I was 5 when it happened. Yeah, I was 5. Call of Duty has a tendency to sensationalize, to dramatize, and play things up for dramatic effect. And almost kind of make them things so over the top they're silly. And I don't have any problem with them showing 9/11 in a game. And it's been long enough that I feel like it can be done. I will have a problem if they play it up for shock value. And just do it to say, oh, look how bad this is. Isn't this crazy? Like No Russian. No Russian was like pretty much put in the game to shock people. It serves no purpose in the plot. It can be excised from the plot. Okay? So that's my main concern. I'm totally cool with a game, especially one that focuses on the US military. Having that, it has to be done tastefully. If they just play it up for shock value, it'll be really fucking disrespectful. And like I said, everybody across the world plays Call of Duty, but their core demographic, their target demographic is American men who are into the military. Okay? So they would be pissing off their number one demographic if they mishandle it. Not a good idea for any brand. So it just remains to be seen how they handle it and if they can do it tastefully. Because if they do it tastefully, I've got no problem with it. Like, they could show 9/11 being used as the catalyst for your main character. They had a bunch of Call of Duty games where the character got inspired to join the army because of the events happening, like in Advanced Warfare, going all the way back. Guy joins the army, joins Kevin Spacey's Atlas Force because he gets fucking pinned down and loses his arm and loses his best friend. So it's like a trauma to incite the plot. They could show like a guy getting in 9/11 and that inspiring him to join the military. Or something like that. So like I said, it just really depends on how they do it. I'm just saying Call of Duty doesn't have a very good track record when it comes to shit like that, so...
What now, you piece of filth?
Yeah, it is. Agony is good. Igni is my favorite. Especially once you level up Igni and you can spray a continuous stream of flames, just fucking melt enemies. And it melts their armor and lessens their damage.
You know, Witcher, folk can say what they will. Me, I'll never forget what it was.
Yeah, I think that's, hold on, Axie? Yeah, it influences their mind, you can use it to calm down Roach. And also persuade people in dialogue once you upgraded it to do shit for you. The more you upgrade it, the more you can use it, so... I'll do a little bit more exploring, clearing out activities, and I'll get back to questing. I just try to do some here and there. If I just try to clear out every question mark in every region right away, it would get tedious. So I'll do some, and then I come back. See, like, you actually see him loot it now.
That's it, Roach.
Also, I don't think this game gets enough credit for fucking Skellige, man. People are always talking about Novigrad and all that. That's great. I like Novigrad. Great city, impressive city. But man, out of like the base game, that has to be my favorite part of the game is Skellige. The Celtic, Nordic fucking vibe. The giant snowy mountains you can climb, man. Each island has like its own vibe going on. Ah, shit. Bandit camp. Yeah.
Pathetic.
Although I will say that some of the reactions to CD Projekt Red in that game were just insane. Like, people saying that the way a Cyberpunk launched made CD Projekt Red a bad company by itself. No. Okay? Having one bad game launch does not make you a bad fucking company. Okay? Every game company makes a fucking mistake. And like there are people who were trying to compare fucking CD Projekt Red to like EA. Like that's a bit much. There's a big difference between releasing one game in a bad state and releasing 50. Or actively hating your fucking fans. Yeah, I need to keep remembering to save so I don't lose any progress. That's what I'm saying. Like, granted, okay, they should not have released it the way they did. It should not have been released that way. Okay? But to call them EA or say they're a bad company, it's just too much. Gotta hate drowners. Where you going, bro? We're not done. We're not done. I also love how you can fucking set alight the poison gas clouds. That to me is a great touch. And, like, the foliage on the next-gen version is really impressive. I mean, honestly, the foliage could always be pretty, but it looks really great now. Ah, fuck. Especially in places like Firstback Bog. That is some of the best fucking foliage I've ever seen now. It always looked really good, which is actually kind of why it was one of the places where performance will also suffer on console. But now, on fucking PS4, 5 and Xbox Series X, like, it is ridiculous. Oh no, a bunch of wolves, what am I gonna do? Cook them. Mash them. Put them in a stew. Hey, boo-boo! What you got in that, picnic basket? No, smarter than the average bear? It's a Yogi Bear. Fuck this, yeah, sunken treasure. Might as well, since I'm all the way out here anyway. Which is funny because Yogi Bear is my fucking Discord profile pic. Yeah. Honestly, poor Boo-Boo as well, man. He's just trying to chill out in the cave. You always get him into fucking trouble. It's the same thing with fucking Fred. Like, Fred's always in a grumpy mood. But Barney is, like, always getting him into fucking into trouble. By being a fucking idiot. I'd be pretty upset, too. Fucking bear interrupting my rest.
Any shortcuts?
Okay. Well, I have a monster nest, but also a place of power. Oh, wait a minute. Have I made a grape shot bomb? If I haven't, I'll have to no, god damn it, I'll have to come back.
Should draw from it.
And also, you know, something that gets on my nerves about CD Projekt Red games, Cyberpunk and fucking Witcher, is that they won't let you fast travel anytime from the menu. You have to fucking get to one fast travel icon to travel to another. That's dumb. Okay? So let me open the fucking menu and fast travel. I'm honestly super tired of games trying to throttle fast travel at all. Okay? Open world games should not throttle fast travel. Fucking period. Like, period. Okay, and it's the same issue that I have with Dragon's Dogma 1 and 2. Once I've been to a location, just let me fucking fast travel back, man.
We'll look for Bastion later, once it's safe.
Do you that often? Talk to your dog?
Yeah, he's a good boy.
It's my brother's, Bastion's. But guess he's mine now. See,
You don't talk to your
Bastion
dog?
fought black ones in a battle just outside the village. Haven't had word of him since. I told him, do like I did, lose a finger or two so they won't recruit you. Too damn feared he was.
I talk to my cat all the time.
Bloody hell.
I'd walk the battlefield if I were you.
I did. Sea of corpses. And corpsers feeding. Someone told me they were feared of fire, so I took a torch, tried to chase them off. All shite, I tell you.
Yeah, he's a warhound.
Would have ended up eaten alive if it weren't for Hussar here. Listen, guessing you carry those swords for more than show. Come with me. Keep the ghouls off. Help me find Bastion and I'll pay you well.
Fine, I'll help you. Just been a few days since the battle. Chances we find your brother alive are slim. Very slim.
I would have thought, but I want to find his body at least. So,
And also, people, you can now pause during cutscenes as well. That's something they added in the next gen version, which thank God. Okay, something pissed me off is like they were suggesting that The Witcher 4 could focus on Ciri. No! No fucking no. And I don't even mind Ciri. I've got no problem with Ciri, okay? Just stop it. Stop taking game series that are known for one character and then trying to shove another character in there, okay? There are a bunch of games and movies and shows that they can have characters swapping out on a regular basis. GTA. Every single fucking GTA game, there's another protagonist, a new protagonist, okay? So they can swap those out every game. Nobody gives a shit. And I can't, like, there's tons and tons and tons of games where it works, okay? But when you to build up an entire story around one fucking character, and then you try to replace that character, just stop. And most of the time, it'd be better if you just went and did your own fucking thing. It almost never works out well, okay? And I, for one, do not want to play a fucking Witcher game about Ciri. Fuck Ciri. She's not a Witcher. It's called The Witcher. You know, I've heard a lot of good stuff about Mad Max Furiosa, and I like Mad Max, and it does look pretty good. But he's also saying he has ideas for more Mad Max prequels, and I'm like, okay, can we just have a Mad Max movie with Mad Max? Like, we now have to ask to have Mad Max be in a Mad Max movie? I mean, to say nothing of the fact that, honestly, as good as Fury Road is, Mad Max is kind of like an ancillary character in that movie already to Furiosa. Okay? I don't want to have a fucking Mad Max movie where Mad Max is not in it. I don't want to have a fucking Witcher game where you're not playing Geralt. Yeah. Well, you know what? At this point, though, it's almost kind of like a good thing, because at least they can fuck up their own characters and stop fucking up existing ones. So, silver lining. I'm a Skywalker. It doesn't work like that, bro. It doesn't work like that. Okay? It would be different. Yeah, and I've told people this. It's due to the writing, okay? If they had Luke or even Leia adopt fucking Rey into the family, it's like, well, you don't have parents and we love you, so that, okay, then she would have been a Skywalker, okay? But you can't, after they're both dead, suddenly say you are a Skywalker. It doesn't work that fucking way. Like, literally, they could have made that work if they had just like a single scene where it's like, yeah, we adopt you, or you're one of the Skywalkers, Rey, you know what I mean? Okay? But her deciding that she's gonna be a Skywalker, no. And on top of that, she cannibalizes Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and Anakin's to make your own lightsaber. What a fuck you move! The whole point of a Jedi building their own lightsaber is that they built their own lightsaber. It's not building your own lightsaber if you took fucking parts from somebody else's. Okay? Did Luke take parts from his original lightsaber, from his dad's lightsaber to build his? No, he made his on his fucking own like a big boy. Did Obi-Wan take parts from Qui-Gon's? No, he didn't. He had his own fucking lightsaber built. Okay? So everybody else made their own fucking lightsaber. Even fucking Kylo Ren, as much of a whiny bitch boy as he is, still made his own goddamn lightsaber. And she just is gonna fucking rock 'em, sock 'em, and fucking scavenge parts together? Back in my day... Okay? It's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb, man. That's what I'm saying, like, and the only time that I try to defend the prequels, or not the prequels, I'm sorry, the sequels, I try to defend the sequels is when people personally attack the actors, because that is not fair, okay? They are not to blame for the fucking train wreck decisions that Disney made, okay? There is a huge, huge, huge amount of talent in the new Star Wars movies, okay? You can't look me in the face and tell me that Oscar Isaac is a bad actor. Daisy Ridley is a good actor. Fucking John Boyega, good actor. So it's not, like, the failure of the movies is not on the fucking actors. It's on fucking Disney script, okay? The best actor in the world could not save. And somehow, Palpatine returned, okay? You can't fix that. And you have to understand, Disney deliberately chose actors who hadn't been in big movies before. So they were given a chance at it being in a Star Wars Disney movie, which was a huge opportunity for any actor. Okay, and then they were locked in for 3 movies. So it didn't even matter if they didn't like it. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, about what you're saying earlier. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Hold on one second. I gotta get my charger. My controller battery's low. I don't want to die mid thing. Yeah, I appreciate it. I try to have entertaining conversations, especially when it's stuff that I'm really passionate about. I don't always mention Star Wars, but I'm a huge, diehard fucking Star Wars fan. I'm about as diehard of a Star Wars fan as you can be. I grew up watching the movie. One of the first things I ever watched. Movies I ever watched as a kid was the special edition of Star Wars on VHS. My dad got it back when it was a big deal and showed it to me. He's like, "Oh, I want you to see these." And okay, so literally, I grew up watching 4, 5, and 6. Some of my earliest memories in this world are watching all 3 of the original movies on VHS. It's also why, like, people will try to hit me with you just like the prequel trilogy because of nostalgia. Bro, I watched the original movies before the fucking prequel trilogy, okay? So no, it's not nostalgia. I genuinely like them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Who will just like something because of nostalgia, you know? But I can honestly say that if I was going to have nostalgia for anything, it would be the original 3. Those were the first Star Wars I saw, and I saw the prequel trilogy later. So it's not nostalgia. I genuinely like them. Well, for the most part. I really like Phantom Menace, and I really like Vita. Blowing out the dust, man. You just blow it. It's like an old musty tome. I genuinely like Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith. I'm not too crazy about Attack of the Clones. I don't think Attack of the Clones is bad, but I do think of the George films it is the weakest. And God, I'm sorry, my charger cord's being a bitch. I do absolutely love. I love Christopher Lee, but he did not fit well as a Sith Lord. And I did not like what they were trying to do. Misa finish what you started! Yeah. So, I'm just not a big fan of Attack of the Clones. I think Attack of the Clones has some good parts, obviously. I don't think it's a bad movie. Yeah. Okay, now it's charging. Okay, I just had to make sure it was... No, not one to cooperate. Like I said, I don't hate Attack of the Clones. I do like how they go into Jar Jar's... Not Jar Jar, what am I saying? I like how they go into Boba Fett's backstory. I like how they show Anakin losing his arm. I like Camino. I think that's one of my favorite worlds in Star Wars. I like the Genosians and the Kaminoans, the weird fucking fish people. Daxter's Diner is cool. So I do like Attack of the Clones. I just think out of all of the George Lucas made Star Wars films, it's probably my least favorite. And out of all the Sith Lords, you know, like, Count Dooku is not a bad villain. It's Christopher Lee, so it's never going to be a bad villain. But if you compare Count Dooku to Darth Maul before him, Anakin going evil in fucking Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader, any other Sith Lord, he kind of comes up short. Well, besides, Kylo Ren, but, he didn't even really feel like a Sith. But in all fairness, he kind of wasn't a Sith. He was kind of just a Jedi who felt personally slighted and wronged by the fucking Jedi. Which, in all fairness, he kind of was. His main, problem with the Jedi was that their inaction and their bullshit led Qui-Gon to die, and when you think about it, they really did. Qui-Gon repeatedly asked them for help and reinforcements and to get their shit together, and them dilly-dallying is what led to him having to fight Darth Maul on his own and die. And they straight up talk about repeatedly how the Republic had kind of stagnated and they were just mired in fucking bureaucracy. And so, I can understand Dooku's frustration, but he didn't come off as a proper Sith. Especially because he was literally older than the actor who was supposed to be Darth Sidious. He's actually older than Ian McDormand. So it's like I'm mentoring him, and it's like, bitch, he's like, he could be your dad. And he just doesn't get enough screen time, in my opinion, to properly do that. And I'm not talking about the Clone Wars, because obviously he gets way, way, way more screen time in the Clone Wars. But then that's not Christopher Lee. That's another actor, and that's like the outside the scope of the movie. So like in the movie, he's just very weak. And they have a very gymnastic, very over the top lightsaber fighting style in the prequels, which you can definitely tell in the scenes with him that they had to slow down the tempo because Christopher Lee, being an elderly man, could not keep up with the high action kind of martial arts combat. So when you compare the ending fight in Attack of the Clones to like the Phantom Menace duel with Darth Maul or Obi-Wan versus Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, those are just two fucking amazing duels to end out the movies, and it just doesn't compare. I would actually say that the fight with Dooku in Revenge of the Sith is better. In the beginning. So, and yeah, of course, Anakin's a little bit emo. Although, in all fairness, he's supposed to be a teenager and he's in love. He's going to be fucking emo, so he kind of gets a pass for that.
And don't rot there in the sun with the black ones. Meet me on the hill overlooking the battlefield. We'll move on together from there.
Which is kind of funny. There's some drowners over here. Which is kind of funny because I actually feel like Christopher Lee was a better Sith Lord as Sauron than he was as Count Dooku, even though that's technically not a Sith Lord. Like, he did a much better job of conveying the sheer fucking, like, vitriol anger as Sauron. And because they were doing wizard stuff, he didn't have to do a lot of gymnastics, just a lot of fancy stab movements. God, I hate fucking drowners. What's up, bitch? And now we play the waiting game. You ain't got no legs, Mr. Fishman. And I got some better weapons and shit, so let me see. Steel blade, that's +6, +9. Obviously gonna use that instead. Do I have a... None of the rest are silver, so... Well, no. Oh, that has a rune stone slot. 2 chance to stun, 2 sign intensity, 2 adrenaline point gain. I mean, none of the runes are going to be good to start with, because they're starter runes, but something's better than nothing. And then it's like, you start out with this awesome Witcher armor from the cover, and then you get armor that's technically better, but then it just looks fucking lame. Like, this is my comparison. It just looks lame. The things that I do for good stats. Oh, hey, I unlocked a... Oh, I hit level 2. Oh, and then mutagens. I'm gonna wait till I get a red mutagen. Oh, I have 2 points available. Sweet. Let me see. Melt armor. Yeah. Try to keep it balanced. Especially for Igni, because that's my go-to. Ray tracing is nice, but it will never beat performance.
Go.
It's a shame what they did to the Witcher show, too, man. Because they did not follow the books very well. They almost made Henry Cavill like a side character in his own fucking show. And then he left, and now they replaced him with fucking Wish.com Geralt. And I like Liam Hemsworth, but he is not good for Geralt.
You're here, good. Bastion, his body must be here somewhere.
I mean, even then, man, like, I'm sure you could see it in Season 2. In Season 1, okay? They even in Season 1 and 2, it felt like they constantly pushed Geralt out of the way for fucking Yennefer and Syria. And in fact, like, in Season 2, it felt like that whole season was everybody just sucking Yennefer's dick. Oh my god, Yennefer's so beautiful and brave and powerful, and oh, she's so special. And like I said, like even in the seasons with Henry Cavill, he still felt like they made Geralt a supporting character in his own fucking show, which is such a shame because he is the highlight of the show. And on top of that, they didn't even cast Yennefer right. Okay, Yennefer is supposed to be so fucking gorgeous. She's supposed to be drop dead, knockout beautiful. And they casted this chick who at best looks mid. And, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to shame somebody for their looks. And she's not like she's ugly. But when you cast somebody who's literally just supposed to be, like, irresistibly beautiful, and then it's just somebody who's like, oh, they look okay, it just doesn't fit.
Among countless others. Want to examine them one by one? Could take a while.
You needn't fret. The recruits from White Orchard painted a small flower on their shields so as to be able to spot each other in battle. There was just a few of them. We looked for the flowers.
And then they made Triss black, so it's like yet another casualty of gingers. Gingers aren't allowed to exist in Hollywood.
No offense, but many a soldier's dropped his shield. Especially if he was on the losing side.
If we find the shield alone, Hassan will catch the scent and lead us to Bastion. Come on. The sooner we get this done, the better.
Like gingers are a fucking endangered species in Hollywood, man.
So many corpses, and the war just started.
If you have red hair and you exist in Hollywood, yeah. It's almost kind of like racism, honestly. Like, ginger people already have it hard enough. They already get made fun of, called, you know, daywalkers, no souls. So then they try to take the few roles they fucking get away from them. It's so weird. And, you know, like, if it was once or twice, okay. But, like, the sheer amount of times they have recast a ginger character as a black character, and they've only recasted the ginger character as black character, is just fucking weird. Like, they've even made a meme of showing, like, 30 different instances where it's happened in the last couple years. Like, yeah, from fucking, South Park. Like, they say that... no, it's from South Park. In South Park, they treat gingers like vampires, and Cartman's like, oh, you guys are out in the day? You must be a daywalker. And they make a joke about them being vampires. It's hilarious.
No. Neighbor's son.
That him?
No. Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastien, boy? Still. Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastien, boy? Still nothing.
That him?
No. Neighbor's son. Come on, Hussar. Can you smell Bastien, boy? Still nothing.
Might as well loot all I can. Just loot it! Ah. Come on, there's gotta be fucking the right shield around here somewhere.
Skin's burned off. Might be hard to tell, I know, but could this be him?
Oh, yeah. Bastien was big, broad-shouldered. This one seems smaller, but maybe it's the fire did that. He found him! The Tsar's caught his scent! Come on!
But there is more. My lieutenant demanded we defecate on command. Ballista bombs landing all around, and all he could say was, a soldier with a full stomach will not step onto the battlefield. Now shit, that is an order. Can you believe it? The cretin.
Stop! You're killing me. My ribs. It hurts to laugh.
That needs a tourniquet. But first, want to explain what's going on here?
Bastien! Has this Nilfgaardian captured you?
No. He saved my life. I got a cut to my side, and then got hit in the head. Couldn't see anything. Rosinia found me as he crawled across the battlefield. His legs twisted. And so we were. Blind man leading a cripple. Found this place.
I'm taking you home. We need to see to these wounds.
I won't leave Rosinia. Alone he'll die. And he can't go back to his home. He's deserted. They'll hang him.
And what if they find him with us? They'll hang us all, my Laisha included. No, the Blacken stays here.
Bastion only made it with the Black One's help. Maybe you ought to show him Nordlings aren't as barbarous as Nilfgaardians make us out to be.
Well, I could give him our pa's clothes, teach him to work the field. But that accent... Fine, I'll take him in. Thank you, Witcher.
I love how the end of this quest is actually unexpectedly wholesome. Like, you honestly expect him to be dead, and no, they're just sitting there chilling, telling jokes, broing it up. Yeah, they are. I will agree. That is perfectly fair. They either go really well or really badly. Sometimes depending on your decisions. Witcher is one of those game series where the choices you make really do matter. In a big way. And if you're not like careful, you really can fucking tire quest lines up spectacularly. Oh, the one with the fucking crones in the bog.
Come on.
Yeah, the crones, yeah. Yeah. Dude, they do such a good job with the fucking Bloody Baron, man. He's such a, like, complex, multifaceted character. Every time you think you're gonna like him or you're gonna hate him, something comes around that makes you think of it. It's like, oh, he beat his wife. Oh, he's an asshole. Oh, it's like, no, his wife deliberately goaded him into beating her. And was a total fucking dick to him the entire time. So they were just like in a mutually awful relationship. And she like literally admits to like goading him endlessly, trying to get him to hit her on purpose.
Faster.
And he gave her everything she ever wanted, and then also fucked another guy in his bed. So it's like there's so many layers.
Giddy up.
He's truly like a super complex character.
Place of power. Should draw from it.
Ah, shit. Fucking Wraith. Who knows, man? Time travel is time travel is something that fucking time travel is something that is insanely hard to wrap your head around, and has all kinds of consequences. Honestly, that's why I think a lot of stories should stay away from time travel. It's very, 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 very hard to do time travel convincingly in a story without having glaring plot holes and inconsistencies. And it's like once you use time travel, yeah. Once you I think so. Once you've used time travel as a solution to a problem, it then becomes the go-to solution every time a new problem comes. Why don't we just time travel and fix it? And so it can remove stakes entirely from the fucking story. So it's just something you have to balance really well. I think that's one of the things that Avengers Endgame did pretty well. Is they explained that there would be no changing their timeline. Whatever changes they made would cause another timeline, a parallel timeline, apart from theirs, to take into effect. So they were able to pretty much get away with all the issues with time travel just by saying there will be no changing the shit here. Because honestly, they're like, when they start going back through the past and doing all that shit, there's like so many opportunities for them to fuck that up. It's something you have to be incredibly careful with. It's just like God of War. The entire plot line of God of War 2 is Kratos beating the Fury so he can go back in time to stop Zeus from killing him. It's like, bro, why don't you just go back in time when your fucking kid was alive and just forget the whole thing? Just keep going. You know what I mean? So, time travel is something that is incredibly hard to handle effectively. And if you can't handle it right, then it's probably better that you just don't do it at all. Than to botch it. Or, Doctor Who takes a unique approach to the time travel whole thing, because in Doctor Who, they just basically hand wave it away and say it is what it is. We don't care about continuity. We're not, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. But Doctor Who can get away with that. In a more grounded, more serious story, it really fucks you. So.
Military.
Kind of. But then once again, it's like they have the power of time travel, but they don't use it. Because we could change the timeline, but then they do use it to save Buckbeak. So it's like, if we're willing to change the timeline to save a fucking hippogriff, maybe we could stop Voldemort? I mean, like, we're either not fucking with the timeline, or we're fucking with the timeline. And it's just like, once, and then like, oh, conveniently, they just forget about all the time turns. It's like, man, would have been... Exactly. It's like, man, Hermione, it would have been really great to have this time turner when fucking Sirius dies. Or Dumbledore dies, so, go back in time. Dumbledore, don't put on that ring! So it's still... I mean, they handled it with some taste, and I like how they foreshadowed it throughout the movie that many of the things that Harry thought was somebody else was secretly Harry. That's like the whole paradox nature of it. But it's still kind of sloppily implemented. Because, like I said, if they held to strictly there can be no changes, then fine. That would explain why she could have a time turner to do classes. Yeah. But if you're willing to change the timeline to say Buckbeak Man, but not Harry's parents, not kill Voldemort.
Was allowed without the express consent of the garrison commander.
I look like a local to you?
You look like trouble.
Dead wrong. I make trouble go away. I'm a witcher.
A witcher? Captain Peter Sagwin-Levy is in the tower. Turn right, past the gate.
Guessing your captain's got work for me.
This is the army, Nordling. There is no guessing.
To the tower. Go.
Coltais Griffin is Anton. Eptorp. Epstreda. Asanden Kada.
Es diese Ferin. Nord-est
Lure dark and putrid.
Yeah. Well, see, it's the medieval ages are fun to talk about. They'd be absolutely shit to fucking live through. Yeah. Oh, you're crazy? Just drain his blood. That'll fix him right up. He'll be fine. Oh, God. Another game you should play if you get a chance, man, is Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's really fucking good. I'm excited for the sequel that's coming this year. I'll probably go back through and replay the entire original game in preparation for it.
Go on, and Kazar.
And it's really, really historically accurate to the layout of the land, the language, like. Yeah. Well, you have to understand, dude. It was made using the Crysis engine. Literally. Okay? They made a fucking open world with the Crysis engine. So but it's really good. It's about as historically accurate as you can have a game be. Dialogue, the look, the feel, the language, the beer, like it. I mean, it is hard to think of a more historically accurate game. They really went all out, and they tried to deliver a non-glamorized look at what life as a medieval knight was like. And the brutality of it. Alright, I gotta fucking... Hang on, dude. And it came from a small, independent developer who kickstarted it on a small amount of money. So they managed to do a lot of really good stuff with a small budget. And that's why I'm so excited for the sequel. Because with the success of the first game, they've been able to make the sequel what they wish the original game was. They had originally intended the first game to be this massive saga of knights and, you know, kings and warfare. And because it was a Kickstarter game, they were a small company. They were trying to use CryEngine for something it wasn't normally made for. There have been no open world games with CryEngine. Not on that scale. they had to scale it back and basically make the first game the first part of the story so they could deliver it at all. But the first game was still a really big success. So they were able to take that and basically make the second game with the first game they originally wanted it to be, but had to cut back due to time and money constraints. And that's not to say the first game's bad, mind you. Still a full game. You'll easily get 60 hours out of it. It's just like, they wanted it to be fucking enormous. And just found out that they would either have to get more money, more Kickstarter, more time, or just, break it into parts. So they made the right decision.
We must requisition a share of your harvest.
Oh wait, that's right.
Password.
Dunno any.
So, out for a little walkie, eh? Counting the Emperor's swords to lull you to sleep? Well, in the army, we've a place for nosy ramblers. The scaffold.
And thick-skulled quartermasters, they got a place.
You're clearly skilled at banter. And haggling? You got a knack for that as well?
Morale holding up around here? You boys think you can win this thing?
Ah, a spy after all. Or one to stir trouble.
Neither. Just curious.
Right. Well, tell anyone who cares we will win this war, because Radovid is mad. As everyone knows,
Radovid is fucking crazy.
A thoroughly well-drilled and well-supplied army. Incidentally, did you wish to buy something?
But then Emperor Emir is not exactly great either.
Show me what you're peddling.
True, lesser evil kind of situation, unfortunately. I can sell all the loot that I assemble that I don't need. Where did you get all these rusty, bloody swords? You don't want to know. Never you mind. What's he got? Crafting. Repair, yeah. Gotta keep on there, repair this in this game. Once your shit needs repair, it is in bad condition.
So long.
How much grain will your village give?
Whatever you say, Your Excellency.
Look at my hands. Look. See the calluses? These are not the hands of an excellency, but of a farmer. So we speak peasant to peasant. How much can you give?
40 bushels. There'd be more, sir, but our lads, the Temerians, that is, took from us earlier and...
You will give 30, and that will do. Let us settle on it, and I wish to see the transport soon.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you kindly.
I summoned only the Elderman and the smith, Willis. But it is said he is a dwarf. You are too tall to be him.
Very perceptive of you. Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
Vatgern. This explains why I did not hear your footsteps.
I like the Nilfgaardian armor, though.
What do you seek here?
Yennefer of Vengerberg. Where was she headed?
That is a military secret.
Haven't thrown me out yet. Haven't called the guards. So go ahead. What's your price?
There is a griffin in the area. Slay it. And then I shall see what I can do.
Oh, if only I could be so grossly incandescent as Son Daddy.
Why do you care about this griffin?
Because I care about people. The beast has killed 10 already, including a few of my men. To hunt it, I would need to mobilize the entire garrison, comb the woods, organize a batu. Simply impossible.
Too big a hassle.
No, too high a risk. I cannot disperse my forces. Temeria's army we have crushed, but its common folk remain, ready to answer a call to arms. So, as to this griffin, I can sit on my hands, or hire a professional.
It's a deal. Some questions before I start. Know where the griffin has its lair?
It kept to the Vulpine Woods at first. I sent a patrol there, 5 young men. A hunter found them 2 days on. They only recognized them because they wore our plate. Since then, the griffin has grown bold. Attacks in villages, fields, on the main road.
Meaning it's abandoned its lair. Gonna have to set a trap.
I judge from your tone this will not be easy. What do you require?
I'll need bait. A specific herb. Buckthorn. Scent should lure the griffin from 10 miles off.
Buckthorn? I do not know this. But I am not yet fluent in the common tongue.
Probably mastered the basics, though. Hands up. Kill them.
No. First came idioms. Don't play with fire, for example. Go to Tomira, an herbalist. She lives near the crossroads. She will aid you.
Need more information about this griffin. Its sex. Why it's abandoned its lair.
Shall I bring you witnesses?
They won't say anything I don't already know. I need to go where your men died. Look around. What's the name of the hunter who found them?
Mislov. He has a hut south of the village, very near the wood. Helpful fellow. A little strange, though.
Tamira and Mislov. Thanks.
Es sunt jacta.
I need to talk to the herbalist just so I can unlock her, so I can start crafting some bombs. Wow. Maybe it's time for an upgrade.
Discipline. That is what you folk lack.
In PC years, that's like 100 years. I don't know how old Alex's PC is. Well, that's good. I don't know how old Alex's PC is. But I do know that Alex comes from money. That's one of the few things he splurged on. He has pretty much a supercomputer. Ask the herbalist about buckthorn. I need to talk to her so I can make some bombs. So next time I come across a monster in the lair, I can actually pull it up. Yeah. Well, as long as it's playing most games fine, then, you know. I just know Alex has, like I said, a fucking supercomputer. He can play pretty much everything on max settings. No problem. 4K, 60, like, I mean... Hi.
Bad time.
Not at all. Hand me the beggar tickets, the red bloom. Well, well, one versed in herbs.
Probably saying too much, but I know a bit. For instance, that beggar takes poisonous.
In large doses. Small ones soothe pain and bring forth pleasant dreams. Which is all I can hope to do for her.
Griffin do that to her?
Delina. Yes. Attacked her at night. She was walking in the woods.
At night? Through the woods? In wartime?
Meeting a boy. The young, you know, do foolish things for love. Wounds are healing, but she will die. Blood's pooling in the skull. Nothing my bruise can do to help.
Could try to help her with one of my potions. Swallow can heal internal hemorrhages.
But?
Witcher's potions aren't for humans.
She'll die as it is.
Yes. A peaceful death soothed by your concoctions. If I give her Swallow and something goes wrong, the whole village will hear her screams.
I understand. Do as you will.
Looking for buckthorn. Know if it grows anywhere around here?
Bottom of the river, where the channel's widest. But you do know that once out of the water...
It'll stink worse than a week-old carcass. Counting on it. I'm hunting the griffin. Need the buckthorn for bait.
I was thinking... A few years ago we had trouble, drowners under the bridge. The whole village had to pitch in for a witcher. Who now can afford the bounty on a griffin's head?
Captain Peter Sars, something.
Ah, good to know the Black One's looking out for our welfare.
Doubt Emperor Emir cares about you. But this captain just might. Seems like a decent man.
There are no decent men in the army. There are only orders.
Not from here, are you? A lot of bitterness in you. Too much for someone who's spent her life in a hut in the middle of nowhere.
True. And you're in a hurry. Elsewise you'd not use bait, just wait for the griffin to attack again.
Believe we could have an interesting conversation.
Maybe next time.
Actually, even like the herbalist in this game has like a whole backstory. This game has such a great story, man. Like, for me, this game was a shift in gaming. This was like a fucking landmark RPG. And it's where CD Projekt Red really came into the spotlight. Like, obviously, Witcher 2 got a lot of great reviews. People love Witcher 2. But it wasn't a fucking phenomenon. Witcher 3 is when they became one of the most well-respected devs out there. And it's also kind of where they kind of took the crown, because for the longest time, when we came to open world RPGs, it was the Elder Scrolls. And, you know, you could definitely tell with, like, Witcher 1, Witcher 2, they were trying to play catch-up. But, honestly, with The Witcher 3, I feel like they threw down the fucking gauntlet and told Bethesda to fucking pick it up. And I don't think anything Bethesda has done has matched this quality. And that's coming from somebody who loves Skyrim. I love Skyrim, I love Oblivion, but still, like, Witcher 3 is one of those games that sits in a fucking league of its own for me. And it is arguably like the golden standard for RPGs and side quests in RPGs and gaming, because a lot of the time RPGs and side quests in them can get a negative reputation as being fetch questy, and don't get me wrong, a lot of the time you'll get that. But the side quests in The Witcher 3, there are so fucking many of them, and they are just as well voiced and just as well done as the main quest. There is no delineation of, oh, this is just a side quest, so it's poor production. They put the same amount of effort into all of the side quests as they do the main fucking quests. In fact, I would say if you just went through The Witcher 3 and you just did the main quest, you are missing out on the bulk of the experience. Like, and that's not to say that you're not getting a full game. The main quest in The Witcher 3 is good enough that you could just do it. But you're just so many great fucking quests, man. And even the side quests have ripples that affect the game and the main story. You know? And, you know, there are tons of games where it's just hyped. And it's like, You know, like it doesn't live up to it, but in my personal opinion, I really do feel like The Witcher 3 has lived up to the hype, and it really is that fucking good. It is hard to think of a Western RPG, or even a Japanese RPG, that does what Witcher 3 does better. The world design, the story, the fucking choice and consequences actually mattering and creating vastly different outcomes, the dozens of different endings, even the DLC is just fucking amazing. Fucking Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine are big enough to be their own fucking games. It's, you know, and then even like the mini games. Gwent, I'm not like a huge fan of Gwent, but as far as mini games go, Gwent was so fucking popular it became its own thing. Got its own fucking game. People actually play Gwent. There are fucking Gwent tournaments, man. Just from how many people love this fucking game. And Witcher 3 already started out good. Witcher 3 was a little bit rough at launch, but nothing like unplayable or anything. And it could press hardware, but that honestly was due more to just the fact that Witcher 3 for the time was a fucking beast. Novigrad ran like shit, not because it was poorly optimized, but because it was a fucking nightmare in CPUs. One of the densest cities out there. Even to this day, a lot of people will use Novigrad to test the CPU on their PCs just because of the sheer density in that space. And then again, like, look at it. Look at the towns in Skyrim, and then look at Novigrad. It's denser, fuller of content than every single fucking town in Skyrim put together. So, they're like, oh, the city. When you get to it, it feels like a city. But they continuously improved the game and made it better. And made it better. Like patches, originally you were severely bogged down by what you could carry, so they just said, fuck it. And they patched out all of the flowers and the alchemy ingredients having weight because they was endlessly weigh you down. They added a storage shed. When Blood and Wine came around, they redid the UI for the entire game. The menu is totally different than when it started. Some people thought that the movement originally was too stiff, and it kind of was. You could clearly tell they made the movement for mouse. So they added alternate movement to make the walking around feeling more fluid. Like so many instances of them patching, improving, tweaking, fine-tuning, and making it better. And then when the next gen version of The Witcher 3 came out, they added a bunch more fucking tweaks and tunes. The close-up camera, the quicker sign casting, the better controls, the unlimited stamina for sprinting, redesigned leveling, stuff like that, so it made it even better. So even after all this time, The Witcher 3 was a fucking great game that has just consistently, every step of the way, but got better and better and better and just built on it. And then they just released the fucking modding tools for the entire Witcher 3 to everybody for free. Just the entire engine that they used to make the game. For free. And basically give people free permission to do whatever the fuck they want with it. So we're gonna get some really fucking cool mods on PC now. I can't wait to see what people do. There's already really great mods for Witcher 3 as it is, but now they're basically giving them the keys to the fucking kingdom. So, this game is just so great. And even now, it's just like, I don't think there has been a single, like, open world RPG like this that has surpassed Witcher 3. There's many that I would put in the same conversation as Witcher 3. And it's not really fair to compare Cyberpunk to Witcher because they are so different. They're technically Western RPGs, but they're so different in what they do and what they go for. That's not even a fair comparison. One's third person, one's first person, one is aimed, it's sci-fi, one's medieval. So, I don't like comparing them. They're so wildly different. That was the whole point. They wanted to do something different than The Witcher, and they did. But I don't think there's ever been an RPG in the nearly 10 years since this game launched that has surpassed it. And, thinking about it further, man, 2015 was such a great year for gaming, dude. Just in general. Fucking Witcher 3, Arkham Knight, Metal Gear Solid 5, the Mad Max game. God, I can't even remember them all. There's a lot more than that. Like, 2015 was just a fucking amazing... Rise of the Tomb Raider, amazing year for games. So is 2017. Like, okay, the good thing about being a gamer and the good thing about how many games are made is that every year we'll have good games. Oh my god, dude. Dude, you've got to play the Mad Max game. You have got to play the Mad Max game. It is so fucking good, dude. Okay? Play it on your Series X. You can get it for dirt cheap on Series X, and the FPS boosted it not only to 60 frames, but to 120 frames a second. And it is able to hold 120 frames a second in almost every scene. Like, you might get a couple tiny dips and explosions, but it is legitimately a 120 fucking frame game on the Series X. And it is absolutely fucking gorgeous. And it is everything you would expect a Mad Max game to be. You fucking take your car from a junker and build it into a fucking death machine. The world is a huge, sprawling, and captures the vibe of Mad Max. The driving is good, the world is good, and the combat is fantastic. Okay, so the combat is almost like the combat from the Arkham games or Shadow of Mordor, you know, the hit counter. It uses the template as the Batman games, but with a brutal Mad Max edge. This is not Batman. Oh, I can't kill people. This is Mad Max pulls out a shank and stabs somebody in the fucking neck and rips their neck open. Or fucking knees them on the ground and breaks their fucking arm. Hits them over the head with a mallet and crushes their fucking skull. So it's got the similar building blocks of the Arkham combat, but just fucking savage and brutal as you'd expect in the post-apocalypse. I mean, you beat the shit out of these fucking marauders, man. Literally pull a fucking shiv out his boot, it's brutal. You have a dog companion that you save, and you give him a little prosthetic leg, because his leg got fucked up. You have a sniper rifle you pull out. And like I said, throughout the entire game, you are building up your car, until by the end, it is a fucking hell on wheels. And it is insanely fast. You just demolish people. And there's a good portion of the game that's in the camp and out of the camp. In the car, out of the car. It's not just a car driving game. It's full world. So you'll be in the car, you'll get into races, you'll have to take down like convoys, you know what I'm saying? Then you'll get into a fucking, get out of the car, go beat the shit out of some bandits, do some story missions, you build up your own headquarters, you build up Max's armor, he's got a skill tree, so you start out with just like a cloth shirt and you build up like a whole set of fucking Road Warrior armor. And like most of the time, dude, you can get it for $10. It is almost always on sale for super cheap. I mean, you can get it for dirt cheap. Even if you don't get it on Series X, get it on PC. Still, it'll run fantastic if you can run most modern games. So, you can genuinely get it for like $5 to $10. It is absolutely fucking worth it. And the entire reason why Mad Max died was because it launched the same day as Metal Gear Solid 5. Literally the same day. September 1st, 2015, okay? So it was just dead on arrival. It's not that people didn't like Mad Max. It's that everybody was so fucking hyped for the next Metal Gear game that it drowned Mad Max. And it's one more instance. We were talking about it yesterday, a couple days ago, about Warner Brothers and how they make stupid decisions. They were the ones who decided to launch on the same day as Metal Gear Solid 5. The fucking dev team, begged them not to launch. They said launching around Metal Gear Solid 5 is a bad idea. The director, none of the team wanted to launch it then, and Warner Brothers just would not listen. So, it's not like people didn't like it. It's that they released it up against, arguably the most anticipated game of the fucking year, the same day. And killed it. So, and like I said, it was purely Warner Brothers mismanagement. Nobody on the team wanted to launch on that day. They all knew it was a bad idea, but Warner Brothers knew better. Same way they knew better with Suicide Squad, the same way they knew better with Gotham Knights, the same way they knew better trying to shove microtransactions into Shadow of War that fucking killed that game. That was a great game. Warner Brothers is Warner Brothers' own worst fucking enemy, dude. They have such great talent. Mortal Kombat, fucking Mad Max, Avalanche, so, Just Cause. And then they just do stupid shit like that and fucking kill it. And that's what they did. And also, it's just now come to light. It's just now, well, even then, not Nintendo, man. Nintendo sucks. But at least they know not to launch their games during the wrong seasons, okay? Like, one of the reasons why the Switch survived, and one of the reasons why it did so well, was instead of launching the console in November up against fucking the main competition, they decided March. That was like an unheard of move to launch a fucking game console in March, and it paid out dividends because it stood alone. Okay? They knew better than to, well, we're trying to sell the system after the Wii U. Let's launch against the main competition. Okay? Even a fucking indie dev team, even an indie fucking dev team, Anotria, saw that they were launching around the same time as Shadow of the Earth Tree, and they're like, no fucking way. We're not even going to launch in the same month. And they were smart enough, because that would have killed their game. Okay, so this tiny first-time developer knows better than fucking WB, man. Whoever's running that fucking place is just insane. Okay, and Mad Max, there's been a lot of bad Mad Max games. You know, on the NES, on the PC. So the people didn't know if it was going to be good. There was a lot to prove. So people were like, well, I want to get a Mad Max game, but I'm not sure. So they were unsure, and then it was also launching the same day as Metal Gear Solid 5. So it decimated it. Anyone could have fucking told you it was going to do that. So dumb. But it's just a great game, man. It's not perfect, obviously, because it was made. You know, they were trying to figure out how to make it work, but it's great. It does a lot of things good. It gets way more right than it gets wrong, and it could have been the start of a new series. It was designed to be the start of a Mad Max series going forward. It's a shame that will never happen. And we're now just finding out that they had finished DLCs and were going to launch them for Mad Max and were canceled because of the poor reception of the game and underperforming. So there's like big ass DLCs that we were going to get that we didn't get, and that gets in my craw. I'd love to see what they had in mind, like the full expansions they had like finished, waiting to go. Just that we'll never get to see because they had to mismanage the fucking property. It sucks, but when and where you choose to release your game can fucking make or break you. There's a reason why it's not just, we'll release it when it's done. You have to think about it and carefully weigh what's coming out next to it. And when it comes to the case of like, it's just fucked, man. And it's even sadder and more fucked because even other big companies have done that, like EA. Okay, Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 has to be one of the greatest single-player shooter campaigns of all time ever. Great multiplayer too, but I especially love Titanfall 2 because it's single player. Single player in Titanfall 2 was fucking incredible. It's probably got to have one of the best FPS campaigns of any game I've ever played. It's up there with like the greats. Okay? They launched the same day as Call of Duty and Battlefield. So not only did EA put Titanfall up against Call of Duty, which obviously Call of Duty has way more appeal than Titanfall, but they literally had Titanfall competing with their other EA games, Battlefield. So it was getting fucking fucked on both ends. It was smushed between two huge games. And like, well, it didn't sell as well as we hoped. No fucking shit. So EA basically sent the game out to die, and then, it didn't sell well. Let's cancel the series. We'll do Apex Legends that nobody fucking asked for. Well, technically, it's a Titanfall game. Yeah, no, it's not really, okay? And it's not what anybody wanted. And like I said, it's such a shame, too, because Titanfall 2 is fucking awesome. Yeah. And most of the time, man, when they cancel fucking studios... it's due to their bullshit. They will torpedo a game and then act like it's their fault to underperform, the devs. Or, even when they have a good game, they'll torpedo it. Jedi Survivor. I fucking love Jedi Survivor. I will always love Jedi Survivor. It is one of my favorite games. It is probably my favorite Star Wars game, and I have played God knows how many. I think that with Jedi Fallen Order, you could tell they were working on something. It had the chance to be great, but it was kind of rough around the edges. With Jedi Survivor, they made something that was fucking incredible. Everything about Jedi Survivor, the story, the plot, the movement, the combat, I fucking love it. I had the platinum for both games. But Jedi Survivor launched in an absolutely abysmal fucking state. And it killed the reception of it. And led to lower than expected sales. And it's been confirmed that Respawn begged them for more time. They told them, okay, this game is not ready. We need way more time to finish this. And they told them, well, you can delay it by 1 month. They were asking for like 6 months. They're like, let's launch this fall of 2023, okay? It's not ready. And they didn't listen and insisted they released it anyway. And look what fucking happened, because they knew better. And literally, like, the only thing that people had a problem with Jedi Survivor was the technical state it launched in, the bugs, and the piss-poor performance, okay? The story, the combat, the world, like, the actual game of Jedi Survivor was fucking incredible, but they were fucked in the ass at the last minute because EA kicked it out the door before it was ready. And I played Survivor at launch, and it was one of the most heartbreaking experiences I've had in gaming, because I could see the potential. I could see how good Jedi Survivor was, and how awesome it was, how great the combat was, how great the world design was, how great the story was. And I'm like, everything about this game is great, except for the performance and the bugs from them kicking out the fucking door. Like, literally, if it wasn't for that one thing, it would have been a perfect fucking 10 out of 10 game. And generally everybody agreed that it's an awesome fucking game that got fucked at the last minute by being thrown out the door before it was ready. And now, it's in a good state. It's not perfect. Still has some FPS drops, still has some bugs here and there, but now it's in a very, very playable state. If they had launched it the way it is now, then it would have been fine. Well, if it makes you feel any better, it runs just fine now for the most part. They did a massive patch that dramatically optimized the game, and you generally have 60 FPS now in performance mode. You may get a couple of dips here and there, and of course there is the ever-present, Unreal stutter, which is just, unfortunately, like 99% of Unreal games have the goddamn traversal stutter. But other than a couple of dips here and there, and some stutter, it runs at nearly lock 60. It's in a good state now. Like, it's not perfect, but if it had launched in this state now, it would have been a huge success. Thankfully, however, they've already confirmed the third game is being made, so EA didn't cancel the series. That's what I was afraid of, because without spoiling anything, they intended it to be a trilogy from the beginning, and Survivor ends on a cliffhanger. It is not meant to be resolved. So my biggest fear was that they would say, oh, it didn't sell well, and they would cancel it and leave the story unfinished. And thankfully they did not. They've already confirmed they're working on another one, and Cameron Monaghan, the main actor for Cal, has already confirmed he's doing the voiceover work already for the third game. And I think the third game is probably going to not take as long to make, because they had to shift generations with the second game, and now they're still working on the same gen, so who knows. At least we're getting another one. But then it also led to the director of the game leaving. Stig Armason. He's actually a director on the God of War games. He graduated up the ranks. In God of War 1, he was the enemy director, art director. God of War 2, he was the general art director. And God of War 3, he was the director of God of War 3. And a lot of people think out of all the classic ones, God of War 3 is the best. And then he did Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order and Survivor. So, they will do a third game, but they lost a director. And that does kind of upset me, because I'm pretty sure he left because he couldn't take the reception to Survivor. He had never released a game that was unfinished before. So when EA made him release it unfinished and he had to get that back, it really upset him. And so he said, fuck this, and left EA. I mean, don't get me wrong. a game is more than one person. The same team is still there. Most of the same team is working on it, but the director is also hugely important. So it's kind of like a monkey paw. We're getting a third game, but it's not going to have the same director. And I really sucks having to switch directors 3 games in to a trilogy. all because fucking EA had to kick it out the goddamn door before it was fucking ready. Like, if they had just waited 6 months and launched it in a solid state, it would have been a fucking slam dunk. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Like, if you choose to release a game early, you may get a profits early, but the resulting backlash is just not worth it. Even though I've talked, well, she's not even fucking fully laying down. It's funny. It's just, oh boy. Like I said, same thing with Sonic. Sonic is Sega is their own worst fucking enemy, bro. So many of the Sonic games were bad because they rushed them out the door. Like, Sega has a really, really bad track record of releasing games for the ready. That is like their worst thing that they do. So many Sonic games got fucked because they didn't give them the time they needed. The same like Sonic 06. Everybody talks about Sonic 06. And don't get me wrong, it was terrible. It was terrible because they rushed it. They wanted to release it for the 15th anniversary, and even though the game was nowhere near close to being ready, they said it has to come out now for the 15th anniversary. Okay? If they had given Sonic 06 another year and made it like Sonic 07, it would have been fine. Instead, like, they did not give them the time they needed, and that's why it was so abysmal, because it absolutely has to come out at the 15th anniversary. Sonic Boom, deadline. Like so many Sonic games, Sega games, have just been fucked by them rushing out to, beat a deadline and is suffering the consequence. And it's just not worth it. Every time you see a good Sonic game, it was because they gave it the proper fucking time. Like Sonic Generations. Sonic Frontiers, they gave that actual reasonable development time and didn't kick it out. And like I said, Sonic Frontiers wasn't perfect, but it wasn't fucking broken at launch either, so... nobody asks for the games to be perfect. It doesn't have to launch in, oh my god, this is an amazing state. Just not be a fucking flaming wreck. Okay, people will generally accept that when a game is first launched, it's going to have a couple bugs here and there that ironed out. No game launch is ever perfect. As long as it's, like, functioning, people don't give a shit. Yeah, it just pisses me off, dude. So many good games just fucked because they just couldn't wait. And it's like, great. You torpedoed a game that took 5 years to make because you couldn't wait an extra 6 months. How did that play out for you? Even the CD Projekt Red, the whole cyberpunk kerfuckle, that came about because the investors couldn't wait. They told CD Projekt Red that if they didn't launch in 2020, they delayed it again, that nobody would get their bonuses. The entire team would not get their bonuses. And it's not like, well, they wouldn't get their bonuses that year. They would never get them at all. Investors were tired of them delaying the game, so they said if they didn't release this year, they will never get their bonus that they were promised. Okay? So, I'm not trying to defend them launching Cyberpunk in that state. I'm not trying to say it was good, okay? But I'm saying the studio, the investors, not the people who run CD Projekt Red, but the people who backed it because they're funded, through public stuff, they put them in a very, very bad position where it's, well, we can either launch the game in a fucked up state and piss off everybody and pay our team the bonuses they've been waiting for this entire time, or we don't and we release the game, but then we fucked our employees out of their money. And they shouldn't be put in that fucking position. Okay? So, even that was investors coming in out of the blue and fucking CD Projekt Red. And if I was given the choice between delaying the game and releasing it and not paying our employees their bonuses, I probably would have made the choice that CD Projekt Red would have as well. It's really, really unfortunate. And they should have never have been put in that fucking situation. Ever. They basically held a fucking gun to CD Projekt Red. You will. Oh, hey, how's it going, Ben? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Like I said, they basically held a gun to CD Projekt Red's head and made them.
Yes?
Got any herbs you're willing to sell?
I'm sure I can find something.
Ah, fuck. I need to check what I need for the two things. Because she's got what I need for the first bits of alchemy. Okay, I need saltpeter, 1 thing of saltpeter, and then 2 things of saltpeter for that, so that's... No, okay, I just need 1 thing of saltpeter, then I only need to make 1 bomb, and then... you British. And, well, you Indian. Majins drank fucking tea too, man. You can take the Brits out of India, but you can't take the British customs out of India. Swallow. Okay, so I need 2 celandine and 1 saltpeter.
Yes?
Got any herbs you're willing to sell?
I'm sure I can find something.
Two celandine. And then I need 1 saltpeter. Boom.
Farewell.
Now I can craft the first Witcher potion, Swallow. Giggity! And the grape shot bomb so I can destroy monster nests. Because without them you can't ever complete them. Yeah, then I have to equip the bomb. Or do... Oh, okay. Here we go. Boom. And then I have to equip Swallow. Haven't I already made Swallow? I thought I did. No, I didn't. I have to get more celandine. Fuck. Hold on. I think there's actually some celandine outside here. No, that's Molly Arrow. Molly Arrow. Okay, so no, I do have to buy it from her. Oh, well, now you know. I'm still taking all your shit, bitch! Imagine literally just a fucking adventure man coming to your thing and literally just taking your whole garden in his pocket. What the fuck? It's like, did he loot my entire garden? Where did you even put that?
Yes?
Got any herbs you're willing to sell?
I'm sure I can find something.
Farewell.
Okay, so now I can craft a Swallow, which increases your regeneration of stamina. Sweet. Oh wait, yeah, I need to equip it. It's not even just for this quest, it's just a good fucking potion to have in general, honestly. Let me save. It's been a while since I saved.
Yes?
Tell me something about yourself. What's your story?
A sad one. Do you know the Temple of Melitele in Alanda?
Do I know it? Can't remember how many times I've been there, how many times Mother Neneka stitched me up.
We must have missed each other. I started to become a healer under Mother Nanika. I was but 18 when they took me in. An age at which teachings interest one far less than love. There was a boy, Goslav. He'd bare his chest to work. The novices couldn't keep their eyes off him, tripped over their own feet, dropped things. I left the temple for him. We passed a lovely summer together, and then he left. Neneke refused to take me back. My parents uttered not a word. Gave me a travel cloak and a small coin pouch. I struggled long to find a place where I'd feel safe, needed, until I finally arrived here. End of story.
Got a potion for Lena. Swallow.
A sign of spring. Symbol of rebirth. Fitting as names go.
We'll see. Like I said, could harm her. Deeply.
Oh, are they bad?
Immediately. But I have a faster metabolism. Effects won't appear in her case for a few days.
Why'd you choose this in the end?
Jesus.
Decided it was better than doing nothing.
I like you, Witcher. Here. A small gift. For giving a damn.
Yeah. You might as well be speaking fucking Swahili to me, dude. I'm not very PC literate. Alex was trying to tell me his specs for his PC, and he was like, like super, like he was expecting me to be impressed, and I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck you just said, man. I've never gotten a PC, so I've never been able to get a PC, so I never saw like the point in becoming literate on it. You know what I mean? Alex has money. Like I said, he's well off. He's got fuck you money. Yeah. So he can splurge on stuff like that. I cannot. The same with Steph. I keep telling him, man, that he needs to fucking drop the money and get an awesome PC. He's got like $2,000 laying around. Well, the equivalent. That's what he told me. It's not like $2,000 per se, but it's like the Czech money equivalent of 2,000 USD. So.
Come on.
Are they? Well, that's cool. I must have missed him. Must have missed that. Because he's got that money saved up. He doesn't need it for anything. It's not like he's, has to save it for whatever. Oh, they're not letting him buy a PC? Fuck. I don't know, man. It's not my place, really, to question his parents, but I do feel like at the same time, it's his fucking money. He has his own debit card. And it's money he has saved up. It's what he made it sound like to me, so I feel like he should be able to buy whatever the fuck he wants to buy. That's my feelings.
Let's go.
Alright, I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna take a short break, and I'll be right back. I shouldn't be gone very long.